All right, we have the stunning election of Donald Trump, the stunning victory of the Republican Party in the last election. And it seems that the left, especially the secular media and the Democratic Party, the left is still not getting what happened, or at least is not responding the right way. I mean, in the aftermath of the results, there was a lot of, we missed it and we were wrong. There was a lot of introspection. There was even a short editorial in the New York Times where they talked about the need to be introspective. It was kind of a mea culpa, and we missed it here. There were other secular journalists talking about the bubble in which they live, the D.C. bubble, and how they weren't in touch with the pulse of the nation. But it seems rather than learning from this, rather than saying, we are disqualifying ourselves by going further and further to the left, the New York Times even had another article saying to the Democrats, get back to emphasizing economic fairness. All your pushing of, say, transgender bathroom issues is hurting you right now. But rather than learning, rather than trying to understand why people voted for Donald Trump and recognizing it was not just xenophobia and misogyny and Islamophobia and transphobia and homophobia and neo-Nazi KKK type of hatred, that there were other things going on. It seems that the left is going even further left. Washington Examiner had a report, and they quoted inside sources, anonymous sources from CNN, who's saying, we're going even to the left of MSNBC in the aftermath of this. Here, CNN is losing viewers because people look at them as the Clinton News Network, look at them as being so biased. Not all their reporters, but many of them and much of their reporting. And what happens, some inside sources said, we're going further left. This is a dangerous place to be. And what does the Washington Post do? It puts out an article really being pushed, even by the executive editor, being pushed forward, saying it's Russian propaganda that is behind the fake news that helped drive the elections. Just everything from Drudge Report with something like 1.7 billion viewers during the election season. This unbelievable number. And that's on the right. To the libertarian Ron Paul Institute, their fires were fueled by Russian propaganda. And this is what the Washington Post is pushing. Instead of saying, okay, let's step back and analyze what's happening and what it is that people are resonating with from the libertarians to the right wing. And let's understand what we're missing in our perspective. What's the Democratic Party doing? They're talking about potentially putting forward Keith Ellison, a Muslim congressman, putting him forth as the party chairman. Yes, he has associations with Louis Farrakhan and Nation of Islam in the past. Yes, in relatively recent months, he said that Hillary Clinton would have to convince him that she was not a Republican to get his support. That's how radically left he is. They're talking about putting him forward. And Chuck Schumer, Congressman Chuck Schumer, has now said that with Donald Trump appointing for Health and Human Services Tom Price, Congressman Tom Price, himself a medical doctor, that this is now an attack on seniors. Rather than saying this is what the people are asking for, something better than the Affordable Care Act, something better than Obamacare, and that's why Trump is appointing Price. He's like the ideal guy for it. No, this is an attack on seniors. They're coming after your Medicare. This is what the people were voting against, this type of rhetoric. And then ESPN, according to Nielsen ratings, they've lost more than 1 million viewers, 1 million subscribers in the last 2 months. In the last year or so, they've gone from 99 million down to 88 million. Last year or two, they've dropped that dramatically. And one of their key men said that one of the contributing factors is that they've been getting more and more left-wing, more and more political, and that people are watching ESPN for sports, not for political commentary. Curt Schilling, the baseball legend, who was fired for his conservative views and for a meme that he put up against transgender activism, he said that they are bigoted and intolerant towards conservatives like him, and the evidence would point overwhelmingly in that direction. Is ESPN learning? No. What happens when the dictator Fidel Castro dies? They put out an article about 1,100 words long, and they mention his conflicts with America, but not in a negative way. They do mention some of the negative effects of his economic policies, but the article is praising him for advancing Cuba as an international sports power. And then it ends with a defiant quote from Castro against America, almost saying, look at him, defiant to his death. So rather than say, hey, we are hemorrhaging, and one reason we're hemorrhaging is because we're getting political, political, and we're getting more and more to the left, and people don't like it. I don't think they like the politics either way on ESPN. Rather than learning from it, they continue to lurch left and praise a dictator who is guilty of firing squads and all kinds of atrocities. Will the left self-destruct, or will it learn? I'm not holding my breath.